Hi, and welcome to my assessment number 2. My name is Matias Miranda, and in the following presentation, I am going to present an analysis of a novel for teenagers called After. Well, as I said, the novel or book that I choose is After. Let's talk about the author. Anna Todd is a 31 years old North American writer. She is known for the success that After had and has worldwide. Her first steps as a writer were on 2012 on the social storytelling platform called Wattpad. Her very first book published was the first edition of After, book that was released on 2014. Todd's writing content was initially inspired by the music group One Direction and the singer of the same music group called Harry Styles. This singer is a model for the protagonist in all the After series. Under the name of Harding Scott, Anna started writing stories on her phone with the Wattpad app in 2012, publishing a chapter almost daily for over an entire year. Todd wrote 3 of the 5 books of After series on Wattpad completely. Then she created almost other 5 books apart from the After series, but none of them has the same popularity as After had and has even nowadays. Well, other publications that Anna Todd has. Well, first of all, as you can see, she created the 5 editions of After that you can see the cover photos in the presentation. And then after all the series of After, she created Nothing More, Nothing Less, Imagine, Stars, among others. These books are in some aspects related to After series. However, regarding popularity, these books are not as popular as the whole 5 books of After are. Well, now let's talk about the overview of the novel. After is a fan fiction novel with characters loosely based on the band members from One Direction, as I said. The novel principally features the band lead singer, who is Harry Styles, as the inspiration for main characters that are and is Harding. And Anna Todd herself, the author of these books, as the inspiration behind the protagonist, that is Tessa. Anna Todd originally wrote After on Wattpad, as I said, a social storytelling platform, but it was adapted to be published on 2014 in printed books. After is now the first novel in a 5-book series that was made into a film during the 2019. That was the first After movie. The series follows the life of Tessa Young, a recent high school graduate, as she embarks on her new college life. Her life is meticulously planned by not only herself, but also by her overachieving mother. But when Tessa meets the complex and rebel Harding Scott, that is the other main character, everything in her life begins to change. Now let's talk about the main characters. Well, basically the main characters are 2. These 2 are Tessa Young and Harding Scott that you can see in the presentation. Let's talk about first of all about Tessa. Tessa is an 18-year-old freshman of the Washington Central University, or WCU. She is known for being overachiever and a very dedicated student. Okay. In addition, we have the other main character that is Harding Scott, the bloke that you can see in the right side of my presentation. He is a 19 years old. He is also a freshman for the Washington Central University, and he is very known for being very rebel. All right. So now let's talk about the secondary characters. Well, we have here Landon Gibson, Ken Scott, and Karen Scott. Well, basically, Landon, who is the first man in the picture, is Harding's stepbrothers, also Tessa's best friend. Ken Scott is the father of Harding, and in addition, he's the dean of the Washington Central University in the series, of course. And in the last picture, we got Karen Scott, who is Harding's stepmom, and Ken Scott, wife and Landon's mom. Setting. Well, regarding the setting, the main setting is at the university, the Washington Central University to be more specific. There were a couple of other settings, but the university is the most present place in the whole books, right? There are some other scenes in the book that are, for example, in the lake or other stuff, but the 80 or 90% of the book has a setting in the campus itself. Well, the conflict. Tessa and Harding fall in love and they start spending a lot of time together. Notwithstanding, the conflict starts to arise through the people who surround them. Harding is one hand still speaks to an old girlfriend named Molly. She is not very important in the book and in the first movie itself, but she is the reason for some of the problems that this couple had, all right? And Harding cannot control his jealousy over Tessa's friendship with some guy called Seth. In addition, Tessa's mother, who is aware that her daughter, is in love with Harding and doesn't trust in him. So that's the main point and the main conflict during the book. Review and critic. Well, here I have two reviews. One is of a normal person, you know, as me and as everyone who has read the book, and other one from like a kind of specialist critiquer, or maybe this kind of professional guys. But anyway, the reviews and the critics try to make us understand that it's a very good book. It's a very good book. They make the point that the first movie of 2019 has some particular things and some similarities to the books, but as in all these series that there are some movies and books, the movie is not equal and specific as the book is. So basically the books has very good reviews, very positive feedbacks, and also even though there are some themes that are related with drugs or substance in general terms, they are not very frequent, or at least the way in which they show the substance are not very bad indeed. Well, let's talk about the themes. Well, the themes that, in my opinion, are present in the books are relationships, identity, family, and substances. Well, relationships, of course, because the whole book itself, it's surrounded about the death of the principal character, or the stepmom of someone, the best friend of the other one, and so on. All right, so basically relationships, and not the specific relationship that these two main characters had. I mean, also the family and related stuff. Identity, because as we can see in the main character called Harding, we can see that he's looking for his identity, committing a lot of things that just a teenager or a young adult will commit, as like putting a lot of tattoos on his body, or just talking with a lot of girls, but with other intentions, right? Not just to be their friends, or you can understand me. He wants to get more than one friend, and not just for be friendly, to have relationships, and you can understand. Family, because also as I said, first of all, the dean is Harding's dad. Um, we have a lot of involvements of Karen, which is Harding's stepmom. So we can see a lot of family in this, and in some cases we can see Tessa's mom, right, giving advices and opinions about the relationship that she had. And in last, substances, because there are some scenes in which they did the drugs, they drank alcohol, they were drunken. So yeah, we can see a lot of substances. As I said before, they are not like many scenes, but yeah, we can see that they had fun, they got some parties, and in those parties they did drugs. Yeah. Well, interesting aspects for me. Well, first of all, the could be the feeling of love that they had. All right, so it is very particular because it was in the college or in the university. In our cases, I mean, in Chile's case. Um, but yeah, the presence of love, they are knowing new people and falling in love of them. In the other hand, the other interesting aspect for me is the university, because well, at least in our campus, the things are very relaxed in comparison to other ones, so, or to other countries. So yeah, that was very interesting to me to see how is the reality in other universities or in other campus, and also the affective filters that we see, that is to see a very sad Tessa, a very happy Tessa, and also a very frustrated Harding. Well, the cover that I created is this one, right? So it's basically very similar to what is the original one, but yeah, it's made it by me. You can see the two hands, the the title and stuff. Well, relationship with Chilean teenagers. As a personal opinion, I truly believe that all the phenomena that are seen in these books are phenomena seen on Chilean teenagers too, or young adults from 16 until 18 years old. All of the stories in After, like the relationship between Harding and Tessa, are very similar to Chilean relationships of teenagers, of course. Some of them are present in the high school or liceo here in Chile, or in the college or university as we call it here in Chile. We have to remember that this book is about freshmen on their very first year of university. All right. And why it would get teenagers' attention? Well, basically because all the public of these books are teenagers in which they have lived the same things, or they had the wish to live the same things of the book, right? And the majority of the readers will feel identified with more than one aspect of this book. All right, so thank you very much for your attention. I hope you are doing well. Stay safe. And yeah, thank you very much.